Hello everyone. This video is about the practical implementation of high pass and low pass filter. So the filters are the electronic circuits which allow certain frequency component and reject some others. Broadly, we can classify the filters as the passive filters and the active filters. So the passive filters are made of the passive elements like resistors, capacitors and inductors. And the active filter consists of active elements like op-amp along with this resistor, capacitor and inductors. So if we classify the filters based on the band of frequencies it allows or it rejects, we can have four types. The first one is a low pass filter which allows the frequency signal from 0 Hz to its cutoff frequency Fc and block the higher signals. The high pass filter allows the higher frequency signal from its cutoff frequency and blocks the lower frequency signals. Band pass filter allows the signals that are falling within a band and reject other signals, and the band stop filter blocks the signals that are falling within a band and allows other signals. So this is the circuit diagram of the second order active low pass and high pass filter. It has two sets of RC components, hence it is the second order. This RC network is connected to the non-inverting terminal of the op-amp. So it produces the output which is 1 plus RF by R times of the input. We can choose the value of RF and R suitable to obtain the desired gain. Coming to the working of the low pass filter, we know that the reactance of the capacitor Xc varies inversely with the frequency, that is 1 by 2 pi Fc. So at low frequencies, this capacitive reactance will be very large when compared with the resistive value of the resistor. So the capacitor offers very high resistance to the low frequency signals and it offers low resistance to the high frequency signals. So in the circuit, when we are giving the input signal, high frequency signals go through this capacitor which offers low resistance path and low frequency signals are blocked by the capacitor. So they take a alternative low resistance path towards the output. Because of this non-inverting op-amp, the low frequency signals are amplified with a factor of 1 plus RF by R at the output. In a similar way, we can explain the working of the high pass filter. So high pass filter allows the high frequency signals and blocks the signal below the cutoff frequency. The cutoff frequency depends on the value of R and C used in the circuit. For the first order low pass and high pass filter, the cutoff frequency is given by Fc equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. And for the second order filters, Fc is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of R1 R2 C1 C2. So if we take R1 equal to R2 and C1 equal to C2, then Fc will be equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. Now we will see how to design an active low pass and high pass filter with a given specification. It is given that cutoff frequency of the circuit is 5 kHz, gain of the circuit is 2 and C1 C2 value is 0.01 microfarad. So with this we have to design a second order low pass and high pass filter. We know that Fc is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC if we take R1 equal to R2 equal to R. So R will be equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc into C. So which is nothing but 3.3 kilo ohm. Next we have to find out the value of the input resistor and the feedback resistor of the op-amp to be used in the circuit. The given gain is 2. So the gain of the non-inverting op-amp is 1 plus RF by R that is equal to 2. So RF by R will be equal to 1 or RF equal to R. So we can take equal value of RF and R. Okay, so here we had taken 10 kilo ohm. For the practical implementation, we had taken 10 kilo ohm resistor. Now the low pass filter and the high pass filter are practically implemented in lab will be explained by Mrs. Anita, our technical lab assistant.
Now we are going to see the hardware implementation of an low pass filter. Let's see what are the components needed for low pass filter. The first one you need is IC741. If you see the IC741, in the left it has some curve part or the point. You will be finding any curve or point will be there. Keep that point or curve in the left side of your hand, left side, and count the pin from bottom left to right. You have to count it. The first pin 1, 2, 3, 4. In the top you have to count it from right to left, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, one more I'll tell you. Place the curve in the left corner, and from the bottom you have to count it 1, 2, 3, 4. From top left to right to left, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then the other components which we need are two 10 kilo ohm resistors, two 3.3K resistor, and two 0.01 microfarad capacitors. Now we will do the circuit connection as per our circuit diagram. First, I have placed the IC as I told you. Left I have set the curve, and one, this is my first point, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8. According to this only I am going to connect it. You can place it in which order you find it easy. Now I am going to connect the feedback resistor. The feedback resistor is from the second pin, that is the inverting pin of an IC, to the output, that is the sixth pin. So from 2 to 6 I am connecting one 10 kilo ohm resistor. Then I am going to connect the grounding resistor. The grounding resistor from the same inverting point, that is the second point, to the common ground I am giving it. Okay. Then 3.3K resistor, that is from the non-inverting terminal of an IC. Non-inverting terminal of an IC to a new point. Be careful that there is no short circuit in your circuit. Then take one more 3.3K from the same point where we have kept the other end of a resistor. From the same point you have to connect it to the other end. This end will be free for connecting the input. Then capacitor. The capacitor will be from the non-inverting terminal, that is third pin, to the ground. And one more capacitor from the meeting point of a resistor. 3.3K we have connected from third pin, that to a sixth pin of an, that is the output pin of an IC. I couldn't connect it directly, so I am connecting to a new point. From there I am giving a connection to the sixth pin of an IC. Now the main part, we have to give supply to an IC. Supply is plus 12 volt, you have to give to the positive voltage, we have to give to the 7th pin of an IC. In negative 12 volt. Negative voltage, you can either use 5 volt or 12 volt. I am using 12 volt here. 12 volt to the 4th pin. Then ground. This is how your circuit looks before giving an input and getting an output. Now for giving input, we are going to use a device, digital storage oscilloscope. Through this digital storage oscilloscope, I am going to generate a sine waveform of 2 volt and 1 kilohertz, and I am going to give this as an input to the circuit, and I am going to see the output in the same device. Okay. First, for generating a waveform, I am going to press wavegen key. In wavegen, what waveform we need, we can select it, what frequency range and what amplitude we can select it. Now I am setting the frequency as to 1 kilohertz. Okay. This is the wave gen out. So the sine wave will be coming from this output. So for viewing this signal, I am connecting this probe to a channel 1 probe. The positive and the negative of this two probes I am connecting it. So through this I can view my input signal. So this is my input waveform. I am connecting the positive terminal of channel 1 and the wave gen to a input of an circuit and ground to the ground terminal. For viewing the output, I am connecting the channel 2 probe. Channel 2 probe I am connecting to the output of a circuit, that is the 6th pin of IC, and output ground to a ground. Now I am viewing my output waveform. If you see, my input frequency is 1 kHz 2 volt. Now yellow one is my input waveform and the green one is my output waveform. So when I am varying the frequency of my input, the output voltage is keep on decreasing during the cutoff frequency, that is around 5 kHz the output voltage is decreasing. Can you view that? Now it is 2 kHz. So it is passing the low frequency waves. When it is around 5 kHz, the voltage of an output waveform is keep on decreasing. This is the output of a low pass filter. Now we are going to see high pass filter. If you see the circuit diagram, there is only one difference between high pass and low pass filter. The resistor 3.3K and the capacitor will be interchanging. Only that is changed in the high pass and low pass filter. So I have not shown how to connect it. I have replaced the capacitors in the place of resistors and the resistor in place of capacitor. Okay. Now we are going to see how we can give the input and how we are going to see the output. Now I am going to generate a waveform. For that I am pressing wave gen key. So frequency 1 kHz and amplitude 2 volt. I have set it the input frequency. Now for viewing that input, I have connected the output of wave gen and the first channel positive and negative together. That positive I am giving as an input to a capacitor end. In low pass we will give to the resistor, right? Here we will give to the capacitor, and the ground to a ground terminal. And for seeing the output, I have connected the DSO second channel positive to the output of an op amp, that is 6th pin. And ground to the ground. So this is the output of an high pass filter. So high pass filter, it won't allow the low frequencies, only it allow the high frequency. So the same cutoff frequency we have set it for high pass, that is 5 kHz. So around 5 kHz only the signal will be passing. Now I am varying the input frequency. If you see, now I am varying the input frequency. It won't send the low frequency signals. When my input frequency increases, the output voltage will keep on increasing.
This is the frequency response curve we obtained in the lab for the low pass filter. Frequency response curve is nothing but the plot between the various frequencies with respect to gain. Practically we got 4.9 kHz as a cutoff frequency for the low pass filter, and we got 4.5 kHz as a cutoff frequency for the high pass filter.